Hello, YouTube. How are you guys doing? So, I have really just got done doing some exploration in Enkanomiya, which is the new region, kind of new region, more so new area slash island, kind of island, more so underwater island, kind of like that kind of thing. Kind of got a whole Atlantis thing kind of going on. But to sum it up, I really just got done nailing out the quest involved in Enkanomiya and checking out the new boss, the new world boss in Enkanomiya. Um, and so far, it's so far been very enjoyable. 2.4, the 2.4 update so far has been really enjoyable. There's a lot of content, and it's going to take some time to knock out. Like I said, I've been at this for about 12-ish hours, and I've only knocked out a good chunk, a fair chunk. I would say more so fair chunk of what 2.4 has to offer. I haven't even finished really exploring all of Enkanomiya, but I wanted to at least get my initial thoughts out there and really talk about some of the positives I've seen so far and some of the negatives I've seen so far. So, with that being said, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, it helps out the video, it gets the YouTube algorithm playing in my favor, and that helps out a lot. And if you want to be notified whenever I do anything on the channel, hit that notification bell, and you'll be made aware of anytime I do anything. And share with your friends, and leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts on Enkanomiya. Because that's what I really want to explore here. I really want to just touch on my thoughts on Enkanomiya. So, what's my first point? Alright, so, it starts off with Watatsumi Island. You go to Watatsumi Island, you meet the lady who talked about the lore of Watatsumi Island and where they originated from, what their snake god meant to them, how they came to be on Watatsumi Island. Because the funny thing is that the people of Watatsumi Island are not originally from Watatsumi Island. Watatsumi Island just came from the sea because their snake god brought them up and allowed them to be part of regular human society by bringing them up to the surface area. You see, everybody from Watatsumi Island originally came from Enkanomiya. And so they did a really good job touching on the lore of this island. And Enkanomiya, it's really great to explore where the people of Watatsumi Island originally came from and see the place that they originally came from. It's a really, really interesting place. And the thing is when it comes to this map design, you see everything and it just makes sense. For example, first of all, they did a really good job on this area. It is a pretty big area. But notice, there's not a single shrine to this, not a single statue of the seven, because it makes sense. Because they did not idolize the seven. For them, it was the snake god, Orobashi, I think that was his name. I could be wrong, but I believe his name was Orobashi. Feel free to correct me down in the comments. So it makes sense. Everything about this map design makes sense, especially, and that's a nice treat for anyone who is aware of the lore of Genshin Impact. It's nice. But to really touch on the things that I really liked, map design's great, lore's great, just the exploration, the puzzles. The puzzles have a whole day and night cycle going on. It's really interesting. It's really fun. It makes you think when you're doing these puzzles, like, okay, do I need to switch to day? Because there's this little, I can show you. This building has this thing up there that it's funny. That's a pretty nice view. Has this there's this mechanism at the top of this building, this shrine, this temple that controls the day and night cycle because we're underwater, and so you can change the mechanism to switch between day and night, and the day and night affects the puzzles. So that's another mechanism you got to work with when you're figuring out the puzzles on this island. So it's really neat. And that goes into another thing I like. There is a lot that they do right on with this this area, this island. And it's very beautiful. The music is beautiful. I got it playing in the background, as you can hear. Everything. It's got a very moody feel. It's really good. And the thing is, what they even do that makes you feel the moodiness, okay, we're in somewhere very different. Because whenever you explore, you can tell when you get to an area that just feels, when you feel the weight and how different the area is that there are abyss mages here. When I say abyss mages, I'm not talking about the little guys that float in their shields. I'm talking about the actual electors and the heralds. They roam around here. So you gotta be prepared to run into an abyss lector and an abyss herald. The new enemies, the bishaps. There's 3 different attributes of them: electro, hydro, and cryo. And they actually do things that the geo bishaps do. Like, they do something very different. When they attack you, that goes for the bosses, the world boss here. When they attack you, if you don't have a lot of energy built up, well, first off, that's another thing in itself. When they attack, they steal energy. And if you don't have very much energy built up, they take away health, even if you're in a shield. So they actually work around shields too. So the enemies here are actually on a higher level. You got to prepare for that. Just kind of like how you have to prepare to fight the Rift Hounds on Sarumi Island. So they did a really good job of music, scenery, the enemies, the difficulty. They did a great job. But this gets to my next point. My next point is my criticisms. And my one big criticism goes to what I dislike so much about MiHoYo and how they do their side quest. Well, the reason I put that in quotation marks is because anyone who's been playing Genshin Impact knows that when you're doing a side quest, there's a lot of side quests that's meaningless. You just do it, you're done. You're done and over. And there's a lot of side quests like that. And I'm not talking about those kind of side quests where you spend a few minutes, do it, you're done. I'm talking about the more important side quests that actually affect the world. An example, the Sacred Sakura Tree Cleansing quest.
And there is clearly a limit to the Red Rope's power.
That quest actually affected a good chunk of the map on Enkanomiya Island. It opened a big chasm in the middle of Narukami Island. It helped you find the ruins where the perpetual mechanical array is hiding under the sea. That was a very important quest. But sometimes there are other quests that have more importance, like the Tatara machine quest. It did affect the map, but it wasn't that big of a quest. Not like the Sacred Sakura Cleansing Trees quest. This quest,
world be saved.
It was you take the importance of the Sacred Sakura Tree Cleansing quest. This quest is 10 times more important than that. And the Sacred Sakura Cleansing Tree quest was very important. Not like super like Archon quest important. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking like that important. But I'm talking about I'm talking like it was important to the point that it affected parts of the actual map. This is discovering a whole new area underneath an island. And they didn't, and this is where I'm getting my point. This is exactly where I'm getting to my point. They didn't even dub it. They didn't even put any voiced dialogue / lines in this quest. When you have, like with the Archon quest, you know the Archon quests are important. You know a quest is very important when the lines are voiced. Because as soon as you start hearing the characters talk, you're like, okay, what do you got to tell me? I'm here. I'm listening. Let me get my popcorn. I'm ready to watch what's going on. When you have to sit there and read, you're like, oh my God. You get that side quest feel. That's my point. When lines aren't voiced, you feel like it's a side quest. You feel like, okay, this quest is not important enough. This quest is not so important because they didn't even voice the lines. So I can just press X or whatever button you press to get through the lines. This was part of what is selling 2.4. And that we were looking forward to this. When we saw the eerie when we heard the Pyrolector start talking in that gravelly, demonic, evil tone, I remember watching that trailer and I was like, when I heard his voice, I was like, oh boy, what's going on here? I'm interested now. I want to see what's going on. I want to see where we're going. Guess what?
A limit to the Red Rope's power.
Those voice lines were not in here.
Crowded areas.
So, this region was what we were waiting for in 2.4, and they didn't even feel like it was important enough to voice it. And you know what? You could come back to me and say, hey, they probably didn't have time. They were wanting to get it out. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Why didn't you just delay it? And don't say, hey, we're going to delay, even though we showed you the trailers and shit, we're going to delay 2.4. No, just don't even say it. Don't even tell us. Don't even put it in the live special. Just say, hey, we're going to hold off on putting 2.4 out. Or at least hold off on putting Enkanomiya in 2.4. Maybe put it in 2.5 so we can get voice lines done for this quest. Because by not having the voice lines dubbed, and I'm not talking English, I'm talking like in any language. I want every language to be in this. I want everyone to experience this the way it was meant to be experienced. And by not having that in there, it made the quest feel less important. When I actually know that it was more important than that. So, that's my issue. A quest like this should have been treated with far more respect by having the lines voiced. Because, like I said, it makes it feel like a side quest when it's definitely not a side quest. And that's my problem with, that's my one issue, my one critique to the whole Enkanomiya journey, is that it should have been treated with the respect of having voiced lines and not just be treated like, okay, here's the text, you can read it for yourself, goodbye. It should have been treated with far more respect. And that's my issue. That's my point. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Why I loathe crowded areas.
And I'm going to leave it on a happier note. I don't want to even end it on a negative. It's so far, besides my criticism, it has been great to explore this area. I still, as you can see, I haven't even gone over here. I still have far more things to look over here. And there are still a lot of chests and things to discover. And I'm looking for, and I've seen some side quests that are still there to discover. And my next thing that I plan on doing is actually spending time playing with Yunjin and Shinhe, and then hopping into the Jade Chamber quest. So I still got quite a bit to look into with 2.4, and I do have things I want to say about Shinhe and Yunjin. So look forward to those. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Share this with your friends. Hit that comment section, leave me your thoughts on Enkanomiya, and I will catch you guys later.